Welcome to another episode of Gita series, Gita Answers. Today we are answering a question from Gita about the corrupt and the wicked. What are the signs that of a corrupt and wicked soul of a person? What are the signs that a soul of a person is corrupt and wicked? The soul is untouched by anything. It is pure. It is like an energy or electricity which powers everything. But soul does not act on its own. It acts through the mind. And the mind is mostly thought. So it is affected by everything, its surroundings, the indoctrination by religion and society. So everything affects the mind. It becomes weak and corrupt through associations, by conditions. And there are three types of mind, you can read it. One is the bottommost rung, which is called tamas by Tyndall, which caters mainly to the baser instincts. Non-cleanliness, ugliness, affection towards old, not old food, not older people, old food, vengeance, anger, jealousy. So every people is mixed with all these three characters. But some people have predominantly the lower instincts. So those are the people who tend to be attracted more towards laziness or sometimes to criminality or to addiction. So this is the lower end of the spectrum. Then comes the middle rung, where people are propelled towards action. People work hard to earn money or reputation. They strive throughout the life to achieve something. These are the people with a tendency called rajas. And there are third category of people who are much more noble, who try to help others, who are compassionate, who try to live a very peaceful and harmonious life, who are attracted towards learning and wisdom. They are much more tolerant. So people with these tendencies are in the region of sattva, are the noble tendencies. So these are the three different characteristics you can classify with the mind: sattva, rajas and tamas. Everyone has all these three tendencies, but some tendencies are predominant in different people. So whatever your baser instincts, like tamas, try to elevate it to rajas or if possible to sattva. So that is what you can do. All the wicked or people, their tendencies, they can divert to right action so that it can be at least useful to them and those dependent on you. And if possible, elevate those actions to sattva, the harmonious, peaceful tendencies, compassionate tendencies. So that is what you can do, and that is how you identify. So next we will see some references from Bhagavad Gita regarding this. Soul, first we will see about soul, the references. First is chapter 2 and verse 25. It is said that this soul is unmanifest. This is inconceivable. This is unchangeable. Therefore, having known this, thus you ought not to grieve. So here Lord Krishna describes about soul. Soul is unmanifest. This is inconceivable. This is unchangeable. Therefore, having known this, thus you ought not grieve. Next, in chapter 2, verse 24, it cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be moistened, and surely it cannot be dried up. It is eternal, omnipresent, stationary, unmoving, and changeless. So again he describes soul as it cannot be burnt, it cannot be moistened, and surely it cannot be dried up. It is eternal, omnipresent, stationary, unmoving, and changeless. Next in chapter 2, verse 20. Never is this soul one born, and never does it die. Nor is it having come to exist, it will again cease to be. This one is birthless, eternal, undecaying, ancient. It is not killed when the body is killed. So here he describes soul as that which is unborn and eternal. It is not killed when the body is killed. So this is about the soul. Then what is the mind? Mind, the Bhagavad Gita describes. I'll quote few chapters. Chapter 14, verse 9. Ocean of Bharata dynasty. Sattva attaches one to happiness, Rajas to action, and Tamas, covering up knowledge, leads to inadvertence also. Here three characteristics of mind, Sattva and Rajas, is described. Sattva attaches one to happiness, Rajas to action, and Tamas to ignorance. It covers up the knowledge and leads to inadvertence. Next is chapter 6, verse 20. At the time when the mind restrained through practice of yoga gets withdrawn, and just when by seeing the self by oneself remains contented in the self alone. So if you control the mind, then you realize who you are, the self-realization, which leads to liberation. That is done by restraining the mind through yoga, the practice of meditation. That is how mind can be controlled. That is told in Bhagavad Gita. So with this, we will end this episode. Stay with me for another episode. Subscribe to my channel and share this video. Thank you.